We have a round of applause for Red. Good. I just want to say thank you to everybody, but this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to talk about some of the things we're doing, and we're really honored to have two dear friends who are so supportive, that support reentry, and we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to see. So what we want to do today is to focus in on not only what we do in terms of addiction treatment and recovery, and I'm going to call upon Rob after Jenny calls, but to talk about, most importantly, the path to recovery. Jenny? So why don't we get started? One, I just want to say thank you to everybody. I want to welcome you here, and I'd like to call upon Jenny Peña, who's the site director here in Newark.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. I've been with the organization for 10 years. It's a privilege to work for New Jersey Reentry. I love the work that I do. And I just wanted to thank, first of the clients for providing us the opportunity in order to serve them with all the services that we do offer. I also want to thank all our vendors. Without our vendors, we wouldn't be able to do the great work that we do as well. And also, I want to thank my staff. Without my staff, I wouldn't be able to be working at the straight emergency site. We service 60 to 70 individuals per month here at this site. Actually, today we have new enrollees that are joining our services. So thank you for coming. Amazing to see everyone here.
Thanks, Jim. And so now I'd like to call upon Robert Carter. Robert's your COO, and talk a little bit about the transformation of reentry, what we do from you walking through the door, through addiction treatment, through providing basic services, whether it's on the federal level, Medicaid, state level, GA, services that Kathy Davis provides, and what we try to do in terms of employment and training.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I'm going to let the employees, I think they're going to speak and talk a little bit about the work that they do. So, but I'll just start. I say this all the time, but I can't change my story, so it is weird. If you heard it before, I apologize. But I came home for the last time in 2007. Like there wasn't any reentry program back then. I had 9 felony convictions by the time my last one was over. I came home, my life was a mess. I never worked a regular job, for the most part. I bounced around, I had suffered from addiction, severe addiction, and I just had a lot of struggles. So when I came home, I couldn't even say I had to start over because I never started to begin with. So at 28, I had to start my life at 28. So it was difficult. It took me 10 years to find what it is that I wanted to do, what I could do. I pursued a lot of different career paths, and I couldn't do any of them because of my record. Thanks a lot to the legislators for the state. They've done a lot to fight against that and make a lot more opportunities available for individuals with criminal justice involvement. It's pretty surreal. I tried to become a Newark fireman. I couldn't because of my record. And my dad and my uncle retired out of here. I wanted to go to law school. I couldn't do that. I tried to do a lot of different things, and my record prohibited me from doing those things. But, God had a path for me, and it led me here. So, if any of those things would have worked out, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you today. I got the biggest job in the world. I love what I do because it's all about the clients. I'm saying? I can't tell you, I run into individuals that I was either locked up with or ran with or was in treatment with every single week at different sites. And to see that we have an organization, 8 sites in 9 counties, serving individuals coming home from incarceration or treatment, had the services that I didn't. A lot of my friends that they didn't have, and they came home with me and went back in and out for the past 18 years now. It's a great opportunity to help individuals. And like I said, everybody's here. We're here to serve the clients. That's what it's all about. We do help people get into addiction services here. Like if anybody needs to get into detox, we'll get you in within 24 hours, residential treatment, medically assisted treatment, and residential. We try to connect people because I know, for me, I was away for a while, so I came home clean. Some people, they don't do that. Some people are coming directly from the streets. Some people are suffering from addiction. And you can't really get somebody's life in order until they get clean, you know, get in that right state of mind, or at least keep it on me. I know I could, you know. I really don't have too much else to say. I'm really, really grateful to have the opportunity that I have to work for the organization that I do. I'm really, really grateful for the support, like I said, all the state legislators and make it all possible, because without them, there is no us. And without the clients, there is no us. I mean, Jenny said it. We're here and we're grateful to be able to serve the individuals that come in here and put their trust in us. Because I can tell you right now, even when I came home, and I'm not even gonna lie, if I came home and there wasn't reentry, I'd be really skeptical of walking into a site and wondering, you know, what, put my trust in my life into the hands of people I don't know, but what's in it for them? Like, why are they doing this for me? You know, I gotta put my life in the hands of someone else, and my entire life I just ran my own will. So it takes a lot of courage to walk through these doors and give us the opportunity to help you, you know, and I understand what that's like. And, you know, I just thank you for that opportunity, and I know it's not misplaced your trust. So thank you very much.
So when we started, and is there some new clients here? Who's here for this week? Can you raise your hand? And so we'll talk about that. But one of the first things we do, and I'm gonna introduce you to Kathy. Kathy Davis is an old friend. Kathy sort of coordinates benefits, which is so critically important. So most people come home. We're going to talk about driver's licenses. We're going to be talking about benefits. But one of the most important things is to have a case manager that cares, that helps to secure. So one, we're going to talk about a little bit about driver's licenses, which is critically important, but the backbone is case management. So whether that's DVR, that's SNAP, that's TANF, general assistance, emergency housing, or Medicaid, that all happens from case management. And Kathy used to work for Girl Scouts of America, and now she works for the great New Jersey Reentry. Kath?
Everyone, good morning. So just like the governor said, when people come to our orientation, and we have quite a few clients scheduled that start today, the first thing that we want to do is make sure that they have health insurance, food, and perhaps some cash, to help them, as many of them are unemployed. Many of them are just coming out of incarceration, but some have already been out. So we work really hard, and I'm very happy to say that we have our partners here from the Board of Social Services, Ms. Lamberty and Mr. Amos, who come on site every Monday to help to enroll our clients. So within that 5-day period, by the end of the week, our clients have been notified that they're getting their SNAP, which is $292 a month, and then for those that qualify for the general assistance, which again is $185. Not a lot of money, but it does help us when we're striving to move in another direction. So that's the first thing. There's also many other social services that people need. Mental health is a big thing. So we have quite a few of our collaborators that are here as well. So again, we work holistically with each and every client that comes through here. Week by week, day by day. And it doesn't happen within that 5-day of orientation, but the SNAP and the general assistance and Medicaid is most important. And then finally, with Medicaid, many of our clients have not really had physical attention to their health. So we really take it a step further. Once they get the Medicaid, we assist them with identifying their primary care doctor, picking and choosing, and going to the doctor annually to get those checks. So that is really what's most important for our clients, to touch on their own personal health and then move forward, meeting each and every one where they are on this journey of reentry. Thank you.
And so now we have our legal specialists. So much of what we do depends on having your driver's license and cleaning up your legal record. So Nick, I just want you to come forward and talk a little bit about what you do. Leave the water bottle down.
Thank you, and thank you all for being here. So yeah, I'll give you guys a quick overview of what legal services actually looks like at New Jersey Reentry. So the first thing that we focus on when clients come through is their identification. That's the first step to them being able to actually work when they come out of prison. And a lot of people that are coming through here don't have any identification when they come here. So the first thing we do is by the end of the week that you enroll, we apply for your birth certificate. So we're able to fund that and get that here at Reentry. And then as soon as you have your birth certificate, that's a primary document to be able to get your state ID at motor vehicles. So we'll help our clients schedule appointments to get state IDs, go to motor vehicle and then pay for those IDs. And then the other ID that we focus on is social security cards. That's something that a lot of clients are missing. And it actually can be pretty difficult to get if you've been in and out of incarceration. For most of us, we could go to an online portal, and if you've had a consistent phone number, address for a few years, you'll probably be able to log right in and order a new ID or a new social security card. Sorry, but if you're someone that has been in incarceration, maybe you switch phone numbers or you switch addresses often, it's really difficult to get through that My ID system. So we help our clients schedule appointments at the Social Security office and get the documents they need to prove who they are and get new Social Security cards. So those are the 3 IDs that we start by focusing on. And then the other major component of what we do for our clients is a municipal court case search to help them with fines and warrants. So a lot of people are told when they go into prison or jail that a lot of their municipal court matters, whether it's tickets, fines, active warrants, things like that, will sort of go away while they're in jail. That tends to not be the case because there's a series of paperwork that you have to do while you're in prison that nobody's really thinking about while they're incarcerated. So when they do come out, we run a municipal court case search for them here, and that'll show us everything in New Jersey where they might have warrants, fines, driver's license suspensions, things like that. And then a lot of what I spend my time doing is writing letters to the municipal courts on behalf of the client. So for almost every municipal court in New Jersey at this point, if I write them a letter for a client and ask them to recall a warrant for that client, they'll do that and schedule them for a virtual court hearing. We actually have a client here right now who's on a virtual court hearing doing that. So as we schedule those hearings, we help people start to resolve those warrants so that they're not sent back down the road. They have a warrant that they just didn't know was out there for years, and then they're stopped and arrested. That could totally derail their employment and their reentry. So we help them take care of those first. The other thing we'll do is if someone has a lot of fines, tickets, driver's license suspensions, we can ask the courts for what's called time served credit. So that's what people assume they're getting automatically when they go into prison. What we're asking the courts to do is credit them money toward their fines for the time they were incarcerated. So I always tell clients, you got a $500 fine in Newark in 2018, and then you spent 3 months in jail in 2020, 2021. I'll send the court a letter with that time served, which I can pull, and you're fine. And Newark, I say, is a great municipal court. They'll usually credit about $50 a day for the time that you're incarcerated towards your fine. So just to give you an idea of what that looks like, at this site in 2024, there was $450,000 in bail and fines that participants didn't have to pay as a result of being incarcerated.
Nick, just so that the chairwoman, Eliana, understands so that, and if anybody has any questions for what Nick does, literally communicate to municipal courts, communicate to municipal courts, and let municipal courts know you have a violation that when he puts it on NJRC stationery, they will typically remove that fine. Why do they do that?
Yeah, so it does depend on the court, but for the courts we've been able to work with, a lot of the courts have either gotten outreach from us directly over the years, or at this point we do have our director of legal services and a few legal services coordinators actually going straight to the municipal court administrators conferences, speaking to the assignment judge that handles the municipal courts throughout the state, and communicating with them what our participants are doing, what reentry actually is, and why they deserve that time served credit. It's something that normally you would get while you're incarcerated, but especially for the people that are part of this program, the courts at this point know that they're here to change their circumstances. They're trying to move forward, and those fines can hang over your head, and especially stop you from getting a driver's license, which can be a huge hindrance for a lot of our clients. So the licenses is really what I focus on when I'm writing the letters, but you also have fines that can be 10, 20 years old that are just hanging over your head, but at any point cause a license suspension or have an active warrant put out for them. So we do need to make sure that our participants are able to resolve all those things. They're actually truly able to move forward with their lives and not have that.
Because if you have an outstanding warrant, you would be going to work, stop, be rearrested, and then it all goes over. So does anybody have any questions for Nick? In terms of questions about, in terms of legal identification, or if you're standing in your name?
How you doing on that, Bravo? Well, you know, you have a house, like, still open my ears.
Great question, Robert.
No, Bravo.
Bravo. Great question, Robert. Thank you, Robert. Whoever you are.
Yeah, so good question. So if you have an out-of-state license, we'll help you transfer it to New Jersey. If you're staying here, that's what you want to do. We help you transfer it. We can't write letters to courts in other states the same way we can for New Jersey because of those relationships that Governor McGreevy and I are talking about. Like these courts here understand A, that we're not attorneys and we're not actually representing our clients, and B, what reentry is, what we're actually asking for. So these courts are okay with us writing those letters. They work with us and they work with our clients. Out of state matters, we are able to have motor vehicle send us who you owe, where you owe, and then sort of work with those states to figure out how to get you on a payment plan and how to set you up to get your license. Just like those out of state matters.
Great question. And we also work with, we help people get licenses, whether in Puerto Rico or Central America, wherever they are, to get their documentation. So these are relationships that we have. Well, you're not the only one who's going to.
So because I did treatment and stuff like that, they have I was wondering if you could letter or something, or
So it depends. Yeah, depending on exactly where the fines are, it changes what kind of letter we can write. But what we always do for everyone, like even people without a state matters, is we'll give them an enrollment letter that at least says what reentry is, not enrolled in the program. And then I'll talk about other types of fines as well. A lot of people may have license and registration restoration fees. Those are both $100 fines that we cover here at reentry. So we pay those when they're lasting between you and your license. And then the other thing we help people do all the time is get on payment. So not always for easy pass, but a lot of people come with surcharge bills that can be in the tens of thousands of dollars that keep accumulating while they're incarcerated or going through treatment or things like
What
that.
I can do is the real trouble also for people who are fathers that have child. A lot of guys, we can't do anything about it. It's an issue. Yeah. So like, and Senator Ruiz just gave a great round of applause. Somebody goes in and that child support. It's essential
Nick, can you just describe how many back fines we arrest every day?
Yeah, I'd say the Newark site tends to be very busy with this, but I probably write about 40 letters to municipal courts a week, so that can be 40 letters, thousands of dollars of fines that we're writing every week. And then, like I said, we ended up with about $450,000 in 2024 from here. I know across reentry, we're looking to go a little over $2 million this year for our so it's something we've been able to keep drawing on.
Anybody have any further questions on legal? Anything on driver's license, anything on warrants, anything on fines or expungements? Sure.
I got a couple tickets like 40 years ago. Driving while intoxicated and something else, you know. And it was in Westwood, and it was like a couple $1,000. Now surcharges too, and Trent, that's a couple $1,000. I never paid anything. Nothing ever came up, so I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm almost 70 years old. I really don't care if I drive anymore. I'm scared of the bike, but maybe we can see what we can do. Really,
Yeah. So you're not the only one, and everyone that's here enrolling this week, just so you know, I'm also going to pull you all later and we'll do this one-on-one. But if you do have those fines, that's what we write for every day. So what we'll do is I'll find them this week, or if they're not all that many, I'm be able to send them to me. But we'll find them. We'll write to the court. We'll ask them to lower those fines or eliminate them. And then for the surcharges, we're able to help people get on payment plans. So a lot of people surcharge payments to be like $300, $400, $500 a month is what the surcharge department expects from them. And so we're able to do is once you make one payment on your surcharge bill, they'll almost always lower it to about $50 a month.
Okay, cool. That sounds
Yeah, we'll work.
check it out for me and we'll see, maybe I can drive it. It would be nice. Yeah.
Any other questions on legal? And Nick is going to sit down with you individually during the course of the week. Right. And Nick, can you just talk about why the license is so important?
Yeah, the license is really important because first of all, it's the freedom of movement. So a lot of people, if they don't have a license, they're either limited to applying for jobs that they can walk to or get on a bus to within like an hour or so, or we do have clients that have to spend months taking like 2 or 3 hour bus rides to try to be able to work and make a living. And that really starts to happen over the course of a few months of working jobs like that. And then, like Ms. Davis was talking about benefits, you need identification to get benefits. You need a state ID or driver's license. Security card for the most part. It's pretty difficult without that. You need it for a lot of our Essex County one-stop trainings. So really all the things people need to change from maybe having like a short-term job to a long-term career through training and being able to actually have that freedom of movement, they need the license for. So it's something that we really focus on and that I'm really happy to be able to help clients.
Questions? All right, now we'll go upon Cynthia Rojas. Cynthia. And Cindy's going to be just talking about the training center and what we do with employment.
Okay, good morning, everyone. All of the New Jersey reentry sites throughout the state of New Jersey focus on employment and training. My other half, Reggie Davis, is in the back as employment specialist department. We make sure that we have the partnerships that we need to at least refer clients for jobs, but most importantly, like everyone has been saying this morning, we have a governor's training center, a 25,000 square foot training center in Kearney, where we actually help individuals, all of our men and women, obtain nationally recognized certifications so they can obtain careers, especially after getting their benefits, their services, the legal services, making sure they have their state ID, most importantly, their driver's license. Because in order to have a career, and being whether it's welding, HVAC, or any other culinary art, we have to make sure that our clients have a valid driver's license. That's when you can obtain and have a career. It's different to have a job, but having a career is more self-sufficient and it's secure. During the week, we have a lot of group sessions. We facilitate a lot of group sessions at all of our sites throughout the state, and we make sure that our clients are constantly doing job search. We have computer labs at all of our, centers, all of our reentry centers, and also at our headquarters in TRC, because it's really important that clients have options for employment. So we are here to refer clients. We partner with the local One Stop. I still a representative here. I'm Ms. McGee here from the One Stop. We have a strong partnership with them because we want to make sure that we provide our clients with training programs that we offer throughout the state. So during the orientation, Mr. Davis and I will be here. We will talk to you about those job search. We partner with Google. We have training.
So, yeah, and I just want to pick up on what Cindy said. So if you're interested in welding, if you're interested in logging, you'll go to the reentry training center. But if you're interested in a job and you have this PDL, we'll get you a job immediately. If you want a simple second job like ShopRite, we'll get you a job immediately. So there's three things that you have to be mindful of. One, you have to be mindful of if you need money now, we'll get you a job within 36 hours. But then you're not getting training, right? If you can be supportive, whether it's family support or financial support from the county, from Essex County, we can get you job training. Job training is something longer, or plumbing or welding program can take 6 to 9 months. Whether it's 6 to 9 months on welding. We have the only phlebotomy programs that involve women in the nation. All right, that's going to take upwards of 2 months. So you've got to decide whether you want something short term or you want something long term. And secondly, what we'll do is we'll bond you, we'll have federal bonding. Go ahead.
So every week, our employment specialist department, we make sure that everyone who attends orientation is federally bonded. So as a matter of fact, orientation starts today. I will send the names to Trenton within 24 to 48 hours. We have your letters. So you'll get a copy of that federal bond letter, so that it's an incentive so that employers can give you that second chance and that opportunity. And it's really important that everyone is federally bonded. And we do that for every single one of our clients.
So what we're going to do is over the course of the paperwork, you're going to see all the interest. But part of the challenge is that you're going to need your driver's license, you're going to need your benefits as a precondition for employment. All right, so I need you to be aware of that. And then if you're interested in going to the training center in Kearney, New Jersey, we have a van that picks you up every day, but you've got to register for the courses, just like college. You got to register for the courses, and sometimes there are course openings and sometimes there aren't. So you just have to see what course openings there are. So you'll go to Ms. Rojas and you'll say, I'm interested in plumbing. I'm interested in becoming an emergency technician. What you have to do is see if there's an opening in the class, how many openings, but then you want to get in there and register. So then you're registered for that class, right? So welding doesn't come up every week. The next welding, Rob, what is the next welding class?
July 7th.
So July 7th will be the next welding class. There won't be another welding class in September. So you want to register for that respective class once the training session happens. So that's very, very important.
So we look forward to everyone this week in orientation, and welcome. And I'm glad everyone's here.
All right, so we're just gonna have a couple of Muhammad here in the front. So we're just gonna have a couple of clients talk about the importance of being hands-on and working with the project, and then we're gonna hear from our two great guests. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
Good morning, everyone. I started real long, so I'm trying to get the brother get real short. Start from the beginning. I had like 30 plus 5 years, I worked for Jim Pro. After my incarceration at 25 years and a half, I was blessed. This guy, the guy was not bad. The guy was not bad, so I didn't breathe. So I was really curious to see what Jim Breathe is about. So my wife was in the mall, she went to Jim Breathe. He made a phone call to the entry, and I never looked back. Most, I'm saying, courage, commitment, being confident, and seeking to change. That's what makes you successful from the entry. Everything that I asked for, they help me with. When the person gives you second chance in life, you gotta jump on and hold on to it. Don't let go. So I had an opportunity to go to the CCAR and Kearney, which Jim talked about earlier, and I became very close stresses after the Ruiz division coach. But outside of that, I work for New York, New Jersey Port Authority, and also work for 7-Eleven part-time. But this program helped me push. I see opportunity. I came here, I seen the confidence of other young men like myself and women, and they really want to change, they looking for change. I looked around, and they can do what I can do. I started with third grade education. I had to do well, I got a college degree. So I say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. But when you get a second chance like this, I'm not being in the program because Jim did. I do it without you. It's me. And it's a fact. It's true. Because it helped. It's Roy, Cindy, Reggie, Sal, the director, Ms. Jennifer Pintor. They really, this game is, that's she really like. I'm gonna say that if you need a full set, you need help, she make sure you get it. Roy, make sure you get job. Just the other day, Friday, for the person who I went inside, he called me for a very good job. I already worked for New York for authority inside. So I told him probably that night, I'm willing to accept.
I just want to say, you work, how many jobs were you?
Two.
2 jobs every single day, making.
Right. We need one job. You just gotta girls to sleep out. I was just sleep. Like, 3 hours sleep. This is 4 hours sleep. I want to also say is that I get Rob. Rob, he runs the 68 hours in, and he was a great help opportunity to make sure that the people that they hired to put the program on in, it was like they treated us like we was a brothers and sisters, like family. It's like family oriented place over there. I appreciate it. Everybody did even though I drove, they literally told me to park up and my truck. And they pick up everyone and go back and they have to do it. And they make sure that I had opportunity to do my internship. I did 500 hours in, and I did 25 hours in the land. And I had 14 clients. So I'm ready to work in the town. So I believe that I have 3,000 before. But this program is an opportunity to change hope. You got to have optimism for yourself. You got to believe in yourself. No one can change you but you. Like say you take a horse to the water, they'll bring you up. You can't take the 50 stuff. Same thing, when they give you the opportunity, and it's here, you gotta jump on it. You can't, almost the job. I don't believe in try, I can't do it, I just did it. If I go for a job in the group, I'm not getting this right here. I'm up to the Jersey Port Authority in the group. First I said, they're gonna say me out of pressure. But if I have the credentials, I got the mouthpiece, I got the skill. So I ate the interview. And they told me I was hot. So I was 2 years. So I went to 7-Eleven a couple weeks ago and said, we got a job, ate the interview. They wanted to be more hours than I asked. No, I said, no, I'm cool. But overall, this program bringing about different opportunity, especially in the city of Newark, New Jersey. I came up in Newark, New Jersey, and it was rough. It was real rough. 14th Street, 8 Mile House, Street Project, I lived in 17 different places out there. Because my parents were soldiers, so we went to go. But I took the opportunity to be curious. I wanted the other life to what the street life. They wanted better than my parents were educated from my children. The house. But that ain't work. So when I was incarcerated, I decided, you get the house for me. It was free. It's like it was what? Bill Gates, all other white, the other side of white city. If you get New Jersey, a prison, a couple of houses, with college, if you educate yourself, you most likely not go out and commit crime. Education is very, very important before I learned this piece of paper. No, but use that piece of paper correctly, and you apply yourself, here's that. Very Colorado for working with no professor. Mr. Eliana was doing no professor. So you're the smartest people that I had all these teachers in college. I said, you're lying. He said, no, they said, no, we're not lying, you're smart. I said, smart. I said, what research? No, research work. So what? Communication. So I basically in communication. I fell in love with it. But now my thing is counseling. So that very couple thing is changed, the loophole in it, but it gave better for me. Now I love to talk to people. I love that. All right, that's enough for me. Appreciate you.
Do we know that Muhammad likes to talk? All right, Tyler. You want to talk? And come on, Tyler, to the stage.
Hi, guys. Hi, I'm Tyler Dubinsky. It's an honor to be here today. Closer to starting. You're a little nervous when you speak out, considering I've already done a bunch of speaking back in my IOP, and I've gone to Reentry Corporation and spoke there as well. I am a peer recovery specialist now. I am finishing my hours at prevention links, but I started at the bottom.
I just wanted to Chairwoman and Senator, so this is peer recovery, so basically she's getting credentialed, probably CCAR, so then we can go Medicaid, and so during your life of struggle and addiction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I started from the bottom, just like most people who are in this program, and I worked my way up. I have 2 children. I'm a single mother. My struggles weren't easy. I didn't have an easy background either from the beginning. I have an addict for a mother, and so I had to start somewhere. But I had to learn also how to break the cycle and love me. And this program definitely showed me that appreciation. After I finished my OP, in 4 months, I put the hustle in instead of on the streets. I put the hustle in there, and it really became something for me. Now I get to show my kids what life could be. You know, the differences. And when I came to this program, right, the first week I got in, I was a little nervous. You know, you do your orientation for a week. But as the hours were just going on, this became home. As the time went on, they became my family. Okay, this place is not just somewhere you come, you get your license. No, this is forever. After this program, and they sent me over to Kearney, I could have gone to Elizabeth Reentry, but I already made a home. Miss Rojas, Pastor, everybody became my family here. I don't have family. This is my family. This is what keeps my recovery going forward. I need to be able to better my future and the people that I could help. As a peer recovery specialist, I never even thought I could have a career like that. Okay? This is an opportunity, really, you got to take it and run with it. And make sure you know you got to put the work in. As much as these people put the work in, we put the work in. Okay? So on top of it all, after I was finished with the program and I'm already finishing up my hours, I got to come back here. I said, Ms. Rojas, I can't find my high school diploma. Okay? She was like, that's okay. Don't even look at me. Guess what? I got my high school diploma transcripts last week. For everything, okay? And Nick over there, Nick has helped me with all my tickets, so on and so forth. Yeah, I was only 3, but trust me, they were outstanding long enough that I had a nice minute. You know, even just coming in and talking to Pastor, chopping it up with him, that makes me feel hopeful. You know, I promise I'm gonna get over there to his Sundays, okay? But I still walk in weeks later, months later, and this is still people providing not just help, but love and care. They really appreciate what all the hard work we put in. They show that they appreciate us too. So I try to make sure I make the effort to come in and say hi and send a smile because I appreciate that. But yeah, so now I'm at Perfection Links and Rise Up, and I'm a peer recovery specialist. I'm doing things that these people that provide me all these things did for me that I'm doing now. Now I get to give back.
And what does it make you feel about this?
I mean, I can't even put it into words. I'm not little. I'm not at the bottom now. There's only up. And I feel that other than breaking the cycle and these people process going for my children and for the people I help, life is different and it's worth it now.
What do you feel about
I was gonna say, you know, the hardest thing in this whole path was learning to love myself. I didn't even know how to do that. But you know, I don't just love myself now. I adore myself. I take pride in myself. I wake up in the morning and I get dressed and I know I'm not in slums.
No, because you know I'm about to go make a difference. I love me now. I can't ask for anything else.
God is willing to forgive you, you have to forgive yourself. You have to let go of the shame. The shame is a rock on your back. You have to let it go. You're making a decision to do something new. But, for those who follow scripture, St. Paul says it's a new thing, right? So you've got to let go of that rock, and you've got to live into your best self. And you've got to start believing in yourself. You can do anything, the old expression Jesse Jackson used to say. Whatever you can conceive and believe you can achieve, right? So you have to believe it with determination. Right? What's so important is now took her pain, her addictions, and now she's loving someone, helping them out of their. And so anybody within how many hours did we get these on the treatment? Within 24 hours, we'll get anyone in the state of New Jersey. But did they say, like, how do we do that?
You want to ever say, you talk to your social worker, she'll reach out to me. A lot of people have relationships. So insurance, no insurance, ID, RT, it doesn't matter. Relationship with you, I'm willing to do the same day. They cut off with some of the services like 1205, so if you want to help and you don't get it, I'm here to make sure you get it.
So within 24 hours, anybody you know who's suffering from addiction, because that period of being open to recovery, sometimes can be very tight, right? We all know that. Some folks can say, well, I'm willing to go into treatment, but only for 4 hours. Can we have a round of applause?
All right. All right, and then we're gonna have Christian. Come on, Christian. That's it. This program changed my life. One of the first things I remember was seeing somebody say, what's the purpose? And that stays in my head every single day. I wake up and, you know what? I know my purpose. So I think, little background, my whole life I was a street guy. I'm a glorified by drugs my whole life. I didn't know what else to do with it. And caught a federal charge 2019 and it was over. It took everything. I had houses, cars, and took my whole everything. Come out into the real world and I was like, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. No license, thanks to Nick. Coach everything. I got a license. They made me strong to go out there and be like, I used to think it was gangster to wake up, hit the streets. No, it's gangster to wake up, go to work. That's gangster. That's my flex. So when I was walking around this program, I think, what was the breakfast? Man, Chris, you walk around, you're like you own the spot. I felt like I did. I felt like this was home. It became home. And now to this day, they know, everybody knows that, right? Yeah. Red, y'all made this money this month, man. And I'm not showing off, but I'm because of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm a successful car salesman right now. Really good. Anyway, I used to say I'm killing it, but I don't push poison anymore. I push metal. What else did I say? Not everything they said was true, man. Like you said, if you look at that was famous for the $292. I never thought I would need help from the government. I never really thought that. I was in a situation, couldn't get an apartment because of my record, didn't have a job. I was staying Airbnbs, taking buses, so the food was hard. That helped at $292. Actually got me $180. That helped too. And as soon as I got work, I stopped taking it, But I got enough for love for this program. It changed my life, man.
Everybody, the thing with politics is coming back home from federal. Sometimes it is hard coming back from federal, right? So what you've got to really think about doing is having that kind of level of support.
Say, oh, and another thing, I went to sentencing. I think it was, I don't want to remember it. And the first thing the federal judge opened up was the reentry letter. And she wrote such a deep, nice letter that I had to It's not prosecuting. U.S. Attorney says, the only years I've been here, I never seen a successful man like him. Like good, well, not successful, like I changed my life because I was on pre-trial for 2 years. Didn't get no police contact, held the job. This helped me. And now I was supposed to go down to 27 months. I should have been locked up right now. I'm home, I'm on papers, I'm doing right there. I appreciate it.
Is what Christian had, believe in yourself, and what Christian said something I listened intently about mission. If you're doing the right thing and you're trying to do the right thing for the right people, let go of the fear, right? A lot of, especially the young guys, they hold fear and anxiety. Right? If you live into your mission, if you live in, for me, if you live into the Lord, if you live into doing the right thing, you let go of the fear, you let go of the anxiety. Right?
Yeah.
And why is that important for you to live into your mission?
He said, serve your purpose, man. Get up. Like he said, serve your purpose. Get up, make it happen. It's only gonna happen if you want it to happen. You know, you gotta get up every
And then
day.
you let go of the fear.
Yeah, you know what? I accepted on my own. That's what they do. I was like, you know what, man? I messed up. Let's move on.
You continue living into the shame. Like people said to me, well, like, I used to walk down the street and see a couple guys doing drugs and check the bike and walk over there. Now you're not gonna walk over there because you're gonna do a new thing. Right? So you gotta live into that.
Definitely. And always get back. Like the other day, I called Miss Peña. Some kid came to my lap. I was like, I want to buy a car. You got a license? No. I just came home. I said, you don't need a car. You need to go to Bergen. She's like, oh. I said, what? I said, go up there, get right, get 3 pay stubs, get the bank statement. They're gonna help you get a job. They'll help you open a bank because they help you open a bank account too. Get right, come see me. Right now, I'm gonna see your car. You're gonna be back in the county tonight. I'm not gonna participate with that. So now I'm just trying to get it back. Whether it's knowledge, we was out there, I went out there Mother's Day, giving out money to the mothers, go give them flowers. I did a CD giveaway to the kids. And we pushed it on Instagram, like the kid with the best grade. We took the sneaker shopping. I got a lot of plans coming. I'm coming.
Right, come on up here. We're gonna give 2 awards to 2 great legislators. So let's just be clear. This doesn't happen, this happens not because of me, it happens because of Jenny Peña, it happens because of Cynthia, it happens because of Rev, happens because of Sel Bass, happens because of Rob, but it also happens because we have people who believe Kathy in what we do. And just being really clear and being blunt, you know, Nick is expensive. You guys looks like you're carried away. Nick, how much you make it? Oh, I'm sorry. Probably paying him too much. But what happens is, candidly, because Rob said before the entry, there wasn't this program here, right? There were no seats. There were no people, there was no legal advisor, there was nobody getting jobs, there was no Kathy Davis getting people registered. Good luck, God bless. I remember during COVID. It was tough, right? So we emigrated for the past 10 years. That happens because of people who believe in second chances. And I'm not passing judgment, God bless, but there are those who believe in second chances who believe in you, right? And I always say you gotta believe in yourself, right? I think Muhammad believes in himself a little too much, but it's another story. And with Reverend Flores, with Boulevard, with Rob, with Jenny, and with Rev, I would just, could you guys come on up here? Come on, Jenny, come on. Robert. All right. First is to our majority leader. You know, she gets us millions of dollars and she gets us nice piece of plastic. And to be fair, I was going to give you this piece of paper to frame it, and Boulevard said, "Chip, it's pretty tacky." So I'm like, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. But this is, Senator Ruiz fights for all of us. She fights for people that aren't in power. She fights for opportunity. She fights for the American dream because of who she is, who her father was, what motivates her in her heart. And that's champions, right? And there are folks that candidly may not believe in second chances, may not believe in opportunities, but she does. And she happens to represent the great city of Newark, Brick City. And so, yeah, whatever, Rev. Any voters here from Jersey? No. So I like to bring, exactly. At least for another week. And now can we give this really lovely piece of plastic to Senator Eliana?
Things. Every time I say, what about if I walk into a budget meeting like this and ask for money? Maybe I'll get. I don't want to be. Good morning, everybody. So I didn't eat this because what Christian and Muhammad gave me this morning is a gift enough. You're talking about quintessential, fundamental human things, right? It's hard to get up in the morning. It's hard to get on your grind. It's hard to make sure that you have bills meet. I'm talking about myself. Right? So now couple that and layer that with, abuse or PTSD, drama, recovery, all of that. A debt of gratitude for all of you for sharing your story, for turning your life around. But for the grace of God, I'm here. I'm a Newark kid. I'm raising my child here. Anything at any moment in time could have happened to me and changed the trajectory of my life. But Muhammad said something that I want to take him on a laptop with a billboard and an amplifier, because I chaired the education committee for over 10 years. My dad only went to 4th grade in PR, but he bought a home here. He was one of the first Puerto Rican families in the North Ward in the 70s to own a home. And anybody who knows Cindy knows that the North Ward did not want Puerto Ricans there in the 1970s. He stayed there. We still have our home. When everybody moved out, we still call the North our home. He was smarter than any human being I will have ever come in contact in my life. But his hands were different. His schedule was different than my mom. His hours would change. Sometimes it was 7 to 3. Sometimes it was 3 to 7. Sometimes it was 11 to 7. It was different. And you start fundamentally seeing those things. My mom got her GD when she came here. She dressed up nice, went to work for who remembers New Jersey Bell? Because now I'm dating myself. Yes. For all of the newcomers at Verizon. Just saying. She had a different quality of life. And then I'm the first to go to college in my household. My experiences have been extraordinary. And that's all I want for my daughter, which is the same thing if any one of you have grandkids, kids, nephews, nieces, or whatever. You just want better opportunities for them. It doesn't matter if we fell and got up. Doesn't matter if we struggled. Doesn't matter all that. Anybody wants that. You can live here. You can live in Charlotte, North Carolina. You can live in Mississippi. Any human being who's quintessentially committed to life just wants a better opportunity for their kids and for their families. That doesn't come without struggle. That doesn't come without failure. That doesn't come without falling. That doesn't come without obstacles. But if you get a solid education, right, at least that gives you the ground running. This place becomes that substitute in a sense. Tiffany said, this isn't, I don't have family. This is my family. I learned a long time ago. Blood relations doesn't mean anything. People that you pick to be in your life fundamentally give you those opportunities. Now you hear a Christian who probably shouldn't be doling out money because make your money, honey, make your investment. Understand that sometimes somebody just needs one pick-me-up. That child who got the highest grades, we don't know what's happening in the house. So we took them and got them a pair of kicks. We don't know how that moment in time changed. If any of you go running or walking in the morning, I do. The easiest and simplest thing that you can do is say good morning to somebody or hi. Have you ever done that? Because this is the response. Right? Because we do not treat each other with kindness. We're living in a moment in time when governor talks about Medicaid. I sit there and the budget chair sits there and says, If people in this country saw what Medicaid was doing and saving lives, they wouldn't put it on a chopping block. If people in this country saw everybody in this room, they would understand what second chances are. If people in this country understood the real American dream, the real one, that was built on all of our ancestors' backs. Some of us picking here and some of us not having a choice. That history is filled with moments of grief and with moments of excellence. But if we live in those truths, then we have a better country. These are trying times. There are always moments for all of you. I just want to say thank you for lifting me up today because I was having a tough one this morning. Lean in on these spaces, however we can consider being a partner to all of the work that you are here. I know a lot of people in this room, and I know that you know them and they have helped you, but I have to tell you, someone like Cindy Rojas, who I've known since I was 21 years old, she's been working in this space before maybe some of you were born. And so I just want you to understand the caliber of the individuals who are giving of themselves to this program. Use it, absorb it, soak it up, deal with it, and then let your light shine. We all mess up. Some of us get a chance to just dust it off and nobody sees, and some of us don't get those opportunities, but there are places like this that will allow you to lift up. I tell my daughter all the time, don't focus on the fall. We always focus on the fall. Oh my God, I fell. Who saw me? I broke my shoe. Oh my God. I'm embarrassed. No. Focus on the getting up. How beautiful is that moment? So what I felt, I'm getting up. So I'll leave you with that, and thank you very much.
Oh, powerful. Getting up, right? What are we going to focus on, Greg? What are we going to focus on, church? Getting up, right? And I just want to say thank you to the center and to Chairwoman, because there are women in this room that have been victims of domestic violence and sexual abuse. And I see some know that they don't belong in jail, and we're trying to help them with something called the Survivors Justice Act, so that the judge can look back and see the history of abuse and understand why a woman reacted the way she did. And if we just on the questions of, like, 72% of the women in Edna Mahan are there for the first offenders because of against their partner, because they were victims of beating, domestic violence, sexual abuse, etc. So I just want to, you can all, the men can say too, can we say thank you to the Senator and the Assemblywoman? I'm not going to make her on the spot, but I mean, I know people share their story. And so, the Assemblywoman, the Chairwoman, is somebody who's, along with Senate Majority Leaders, always fighting for reentry. And just most recently, she called me up and said that this dynamic duo, because there are budgets and budgets get cut and you have to fight for them. It's the same thing what's happening in Washington, right? Some people believe in giving tax cuts to the wealthiest 1%. And some people believe in cutting Medicaid, and some people believe in second chances, right? So it's what people believe. It's about their values and about their integrity and what they believe in. And the reason why we're honoring these two individuals today, these two women, is because they believe in second chances. And for those of us who needed a second chance in life, I know I needed a second chance. How many here needed a second chance in life? Amen, right? So what we do is we have people, and Eliana just like cared and always. And so, and I'm gonna pull myself. I'm just really grateful because at the end of my life, this has been the most important thing I'll ever do. Because, as the senator said, we fall down, but we get up, right? So we got to focus on the rise. So somebody who's been in every single time, I'll say this about women versus men. Women believe and have values. Guys, they got a trade and whatever, even friends of mine. So I just, turning back to myself, I'd like to give this to Chairwoman Eliana Pintor Marin.
Purpose, because you know I'm the more emotional. But you know, he always said this to me, and I didn't think we were gonna be listening to all the stories. And then I sat here and, you know, I'm getting teary-eyed, but it's not because of pity or feeling sorry, or it's because I'm so happy and I'm so proud, right? It's almost like with your own kids, when they do something so well or extraordinary or something that they come home and talk to you about, and you just have that moment. You know, that's the moment that's how I feel, and how I felt when the three of you were talking about your story, about you for a long time and how you just stayed so consistent. But it's really the power that you bring. And I really hate to follow my friend's majority leader Trust Ruiz, because she's just a phenomenal speaker. But you know, I say this all the time, and I will continue to do it. You know, Miguel was really the person that brought second chances to life. You know, in New Jersey, we used to talk about it, and we used to kind of think about, oh, what we can do. But if it wasn't for you, Jim, and you just said that, you know, this is probably the best. You are so fabulous and so great and so persistent and so annoying and so. But you know, it's because he will not stop calling you and emailing, and then you find your staff, and you want to get your staff cell phone number as well. Forget it, it's on.
And you're in the hallway, you're around the corner, you try to hide that.
Yeah. And then he goes to budget committee and he has 3 minutes and he knows that then it's gonna be 6 minutes and then he said, "Oh, how can I cut him off?" But it's because he's so passionate. And if it wasn't really for you, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's people that try to replicate the program. There's people that try to do what you do. But there's something that's missing in a lot of that, and it's you and your passion and what you do. Because all these people that are here today are here because, yes, it's a program that they're trying to better themselves and really restart their life. Because as we said, we've all just been lucky. You know, a lot of us have just been lucky, and we just didn't fall in the wrong hands. And unfortunately, there's others that have, because our lives have gone a different way. But it's what you're choosing to do with your life afterwards. It's the proudness that you show and what you exhilarate from being who you are now and what you have to do. So I love you. I love what the program does. We're sitting here, we're consistently trying to think what we can do, everything that we've done, right? Driver's license, not checking the box, being able to have an opportunity in getting different kinds of licenses because of different things that we've done. That's what it's about. It's about when Jim comes to us and said, "Hey, I have a problem. How can we fix it?" It's consistently trying to tweak what we have to make it better. To make it better so that we can afford other people's chances. Because as Teresa said, I have 3 daughters. And we're here to give them what to do. So I hope that their choices are ones to uplift themselves and to help lift up others. Because if there's one thing my dad always told me, the title you hold, you are. It's how you make people feel. So congratulations to you all today, because you all have made me feel so wonderful and proud to be with you and to represent you in so many different facets of your life, and to continue to hear all the good things that you will continue to do from here on out. So congratulations.
So can we stand up and give a round of applause for these two guys? Come on. Yeah. Yeah. You can do better. I want to. All right, man. Take this out first. We never take for granted a moment in time of prayer. So God, we thank you now for your will, your purpose, your design. God, your intentional programming and establishing
God, we thank you for placing people that identify with us, Father. We thank you, God, for putting people in key positions and seats that believe in you, God, that we would have friends in high places because you sit in the highest place and you assign people to your people to make sure, God, that grace is extended, no matter color, creed, God, decision of such. But God, you placed them that we would all have an opportunity that after we get the memo, that all things are possible to him that believes, and that we come to believe, and the evidence is clear, God, that your grace and favor is amongst us all. We thank you, God, for these political friends, political leaders, political identifiers. God, we thank you for the favor on their lives. We thank you, God, they thought it not robbery to come here and partner with our leader, former governor, looking to be new mayor. God, we thank you now. Thank you for the evidence in these people that we serve. And God, I thank you for the staff of NJRC Newark. We thank you for the passion that you instill in our hearts, that we establish that the client is the most important person, and that we're able to change and save lives. So now bless the day and bless the food and bless our travels. As we leave this place, but never from your face. It's in our Lord's name that believers that believe said amen.
Thank you very much, everybody, and we have some packing food out in the front of the foyer. Thank you very much. Just walk right outside.